Peace. So this message is for Moroccans um, in America, maybe even for those abroad. It's been brought to my attention that it seems that, Morocco or Moroccans specifically have a problem or an issue with the Moorish Science Temple of America. The issue is that we have flag raisings in a lot of cities. In every year around October, they have the flag raising. They do the Trek of Time in Philadelphia. And, you had many people from Morocco on the tri-state area, Philadelphia, D.C., New York City, Jersey, all over the place. So they see this flag and they assume that it's the Moroccan flag, and they assume that us flying that flag, that we are calling ourselves Moroccans, and being that we are on these shores and born on these shores, they're saying to themselves, oh, they're trying to steal our identity. First of all, why would we want to steal your identity? Number one, the Moorish Science Temple of America has been in existence since 1913, and we have been flying the Moorish flag on these shores, the red flag with a green five-pointed star in its center on these shores since 1913. You in Morocco, in the little city, country, state of Morocco, whatever you want to call it, sitting in North Africa, you didn't get your flag until 1956, the flag that you're crying over right now, saying that we are trying to steal or take your identity from you. The question you should be asking yourself is how could they fly the flag that is our Moroccan flag, how could they fly it in America in 1913 and they're blacks or they're Negroes or whatever? How could blacks do that? Because, see, you already have an understanding or a perception about what blacks are in America, or what blacks supposed to be in America, what it means, which is slave. So you equate blacks with slaves. So how could slaves fly our flag and try to take our identity? Well, the thing is this: we're not taking your identity. This is our nationality that was stripped from us in 1774 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is actual record, a Continental Congress meeting, aka an Odd Fellows Convention. This is record. This is on the record. See, a lot of people in the Islamic world and so on and so forth who speak Islam and talk certain things don't know the history or the plight of the quote-unquote so-called African American on these shores in regard to this thing called Islam, or whatever you want to call it, or nationality, because that's the real situation that we're discussing right now. You understand what I'm saying? And it is all intertwined. But the thing is this: Morocco, we're not addressing ourselves as Moroccan Americans. That's false. That's your perception from the outside looking in, because you may see flag raisings or you may see certain things in this Morocco, and then you see us standing there with fezzes on, and you ask, why are Negroes wearing those royal headdresses and so on and so forth? The question is, you should ask is, why aren't you wearing them in Morocco? Why aren't you wearing these royal headdresses in Morocco called the Fez, which is actually a location in the country of Morocco, a place called Fez, but you're not rocking or wearing your Fez because you can't, because it doesn't belong to you. And on top of it, the thing that's actually interesting is that you're talking about us stealing your identity. And you know what? We aren't even the descendants of you. Your blood is a mixture of all types of different things, European Jews and the French and the Romans and so on and so forth. So you're not even quote unquote African to the point of, having the bloodline and the descendancy of the ancient Canaanites and Moabites who actually built the holy city of Mecca. You understand what I'm saying? So we don't even adhere to your makeup, because you're not the people that we descend from at all. You're not the original inhabitants of that landmass. You know what I'm saying? At all. So in the Moroccan Empire, you have to understand the science of an empire, a kingdom, and a domicile, because out of that Moroccan Empire came other little kingdoms known as Tunis, Tripoli, Algiers, so on and so forth. You understand what I'm saying? Nations and tribes made up the Moorish Empire, or the ancient Moroccan Empire. What we call the present day Moroccan Empire was made up of many different nations and tribes. It went from Africa across the Atlantic Ocean to North, South, Central America, and the Caribbean islands included. You understand what I'm saying? So our flag was already over here for 10,000 years on these shores. The red flag. You can go back in not ancient, but you can go back in pictures 300-400 years ago in the forming of America, when George Washington and many of his cronies came. You can see the red flag in different pictures being stomped or being put into the ground. You can see the red flag. You understand what I'm saying? You can see the cherry tree that George Washington chopped down. So I want you to understand, Moroccans, that there is nothing that you can say or do to try to belittle the Moorish Science Temple of America or Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who came to re-instill in us and reclaim and redeem us by returning to us that which was taken from us, which is nationality. So we are Moorish Americans. We're not Moroccans. We don't call ourselves Moroccans, and we don't fly the Moroccan flag. We fly the Moorish flag, and the flag is different. Your flag that you got in 1956, and we were already flying a Moorish flag in 1913. See, there's a difference in the flags, which is why there was no problem on these shores for us to fly the Moorish flag, because it had nothing to actually do with Morocco. You understand what I mean? Because your flag that you got in 1956, it differs from the Moorish flag, even though they're both red and have green 5-pointed stars in the center. There's something about the star on your Morocco flag or your Moroccan flag that's different from the Moorish flag. So when we have these flag raising ceremonies, we will correct the people. We will correct those who are talking and say, this is not the Moroccan flag that's being raised, but this is the Moorish flag that's being raised. And there's a difference. So we're not concerned about what you feel, about your misinterpretations and your emotional diatribes about the Moorish Science Temple of America, quote unquote, and those so-called Negroes or so-called black people who are trying to steal our identity. Because if there's actually an issue, why don't some of you Moroccans step up and maybe debate some Moorish Americans? Maybe come sit down and have a discussion and bring your gripes to the table, bring your history to the table, and let's see who's who. Let's put truth against truth, your truth against the truth, because this is the truth. So it's not my concern, but the reason that I'm addressing this is because it was brought to me by some young Moors. You understand what I'm saying? And these young Moors are concerned about certain things because they see the confusion with their eyes wide open. And they see the confusion coming from other Moors as Moors are passing off confusion to other Moors to misdirect them and to lead them to other directions that may benefit those who pass off the information. But the reality is, we're Moorish Americans. And that's just what it is. Why? Because our holy and divine prophet Noble Drew Ali was Moorish American. The descendants of Moroccans and born in America. You understand what I'm saying? But descending from the ancient Moroccan Empire, not the little city-state that's sitting in Morocco that is now being controlled by French Jews. You understand what I'm saying? Because it is what it is. Give you a perfect example. Look at the dude, the rapper French Montana from Morocco. But look at his first French. He knows. He knows. So we're not concerned about what you may think or what you may believe, because you haven't really adjusted yourself. See, this is an adjustment for you. For anyone from Morocco who think they know and understand, you need to come and actually place yourself in front of a real Moorish American under the teachings and the divine instruction of the holy and divine prophet Noble Drew Ali, and you may learn something, some real history, because y'all have no clue of the history of these shores in regards to our people. You understand? So with that being stated, peace.